Saturday morning here in St. Louis, Missouri today. I'm actually in Troy, but nobody knows where Troy is, so I say St. Louis. I got to make a comment on my video yesterday. No, I got to make a comment on the comment somebody made on my video yesterday. I'm not sure whether it's a malicious hater comment or whether it's just, I'm not really sure, but I'll throw it out there for you guys and you let me know what you think. So this guy, he's called a potato. I mentioned something about females in my video. My camera's a little crooked here. Whoops. Let me straighten that up. Is that better? Okay. I mentioned something about females in my video. I thought the term females was still accepted among the younger generation or the the woke generation. I'm not quite sure what that is either, but anyway, he says this about my term females. Hey, what's up? Passport King. What's up, Afi? How you doing? Afi is, check out Afi Kingdom on Afi Kingdom Podcast. If you don't, you're missing out on something great. He's got some gems for you guys in the dating world and in the living world. He travels all over the country and he videos from different places where he's at. So check him out. Otherwise, you are lacking. All right, here we go. This guy says, a potato is what his screen name is. He says, in reference to me using the term females. I thought the term females was a human being with a vagina and a male is a human being with a penis, correct? Let me see. Yes, expert. Afi teaches expert level chasing. He's also good at finding choosing signals. I saw a video where he was looking for choosing signals in Colombia a few weeks back. So check him out. All right. So Mr. Potato says, Sir, if you have to call them females, you're already starting off on the wrong foot. There's a whole world out there. There's a whole world out there. Maybe one day you'll learn. I'll hold my breath. Well, a potato, I'll tell you, don't hold your breath. I don't quite understand what he's talking about. Excuse me. That if I have to call them females, I'm already starting off on the wrong foot. I'm not quite sure what he meant. So I message him back because I'm genuinely curious to understand his point of view. Everybody has a right to believe whatever they want to believe, or I guess call people whatever they want to call people. So I said, well, I'm curious. I call them females, ladies, women, girls, because that is what has been used. That is the words used for thousands of years in all parts of the world to describe a human with, let me see, a vagina. Okay, or animals. Okay. Maybe what else is called female and male? Oh, actually, they use that term on pipes. When you're fitting pipes together, we have a male end and a female end. Okay, even today, as I have traveled to many parts of the world, and so has Afi. Afi's probably traveled to more parts of the world than I have. And maybe you can tell me, Afi, do they use male and female in other languages in other parts of the world? Is that the most common term they use to describe a human being with a vagina and a human being with a penis? Maybe things have changed. Even today, as I have traveled the world to many parts of the world, that is the most common term used, although in different languages, of course. What term do you think should be used? So I asked him, and I hope he gets back to me. I'm not quite sure what he meant. A lot of times in messaging and comments, it's really hard to grasp the meaning of what the person is saying. It seems to me that he wants to use a different term or that he thinks that's not proper to call people that. I'm not quite sure. But I was thinking about that this morning. There's a race right next door to my house here. And I've been involved in running. I've done marathons, 5Ks, triathlons since I was 21 years old. And I don't race anymore. I haven't for a few years. But I like to give back. So about a year ago, maybe it was a year ago, I decided I would make a donation. I've done this before, to the top male and female winner of the race. But as I was going over there, I thought, with all this pronoun thing and these, whatever that's going on, I checked out some of it, I wondered if that was going to be a problem. but it wasn't. We still live in a small town, so there's no issue with that there. But let's say that we decide to start using all these different gender descriptive words and different pronouns. How do I reward or award the top male and female if it, and I know some people are actually trying to make legislation to encourage or force or mandate people to use specific pronouns and terms for people if they say that's the term they want used. So I think it will cause a lot of confusion, because if we have how many different pronouns, the last count I heard was 139 or something like that. How do we differentiate in situations like that? Or another situation where we actually need to know the biological birth of a person for medical reasons or for different things in life, because men and women are not the same. There are no, how do I say, gender neutral, or I'm not sure how you would say it, but there's no, we're not the same. Men have a specific purpose here in life, and women have a specific purpose here in life. And guess what? When we work together, we can do more things. We can accomplish more things. But if we're against each other and fighting each other, and we're having these dissensions and problems and arguments and wars over what language to use, I don't know how we're going. This is more division. United we stand, divided we fall. United States. We need to find some way to come to an agreement on these things. If you want to be called a certain pronoun, I think that's fine. I think we each have a right to live how we want to live. But to expect other people to change their language, which they've been speaking for hundreds of years, some of them thousands of years, to satisfy your need to feel different or special or accepted, I'm not quite sure what it is. But if someone's watching, maybe they can explain that to me. Because who makes up these pronouns? Who decides? I just don't, I'm genuinely curious. I really want to understand, and I really don't understand it. So if someone's happens to watch this and you can explain this to me, because what is the decisive factor to if you decide you should be called this, that, or some other thing? Is it a biological fact, or is it a way you feel about yourself? Because feelings change, feelings come and go. I know I can't live my life based on my feelings, although emotions are important because we get our intuitive guidance through emotions, but I can't expect you to change your language because I feel a certain way. I use the example when I grew up. It was in the 60s. There were hippies, okay, and there was a movie called Easy Rider, and I watched those two guys, and I wanted to be like them. Well, they ended up getting killed at the end of the movie because they were different, okay, and as I decided to be different too, I started growing my hair out longer, and I got bullied. I got ridiculed. That was part of the game, part of the price I was willing to pay to be different. But at no time did I expect anybody to change their life, their language, their vocabulary, anything for me. I'm the one that was different. I felt different. You could say I chose to be different, and I also was willing to take the consequences of that choice. No one changed anything for me. I changed myself. I had to adapt through all of that. And I got beat up a few times. Like I said, I got bullied. I got talked about, a lot of different things. But I wanted to be me. I felt like I was unique, and I was. I was not the same as the masses. So I guess my point of view is this. If you want to be different, if you feel you are different, you're going to have to accept the fact that people are going to treat you differently. We can't mandate other people to accept us because we want to be a certain way. And it doesn't matter what they think about you. What matters is what you think about yourself and what you think about others, because that's the only thing that's going to affect you. And me too. It doesn't matter what you think about me, but it does matter what I think about you and what I think about myself, because that affects me on the inside. I'm not trying to be critical. I just don't understand it. I don't agree with it, but I really just don't understand all of that. A lot of people say, well, that's because you're older, times have changed, and I agree, times have changed. And I'm sure that's what they were saying when I was growing up and I was the hippie riding my Harley Davidson, drinking, partying, and doing all that. I was kind of a scourge of the small town I was in. Hey, but the women loved me. So I don't want to be so hard-nosed that I don't want to try to keep my mind open to understanding, because it would have been nice when I was young if people would have tried to understand me, although at that time they didn't. A few people did, of course, but most of the older people didn't. So that's where I'm at with this today. And thanks for joining me, and welcome and thank you to my 1,622 subscribers. We are growing fast. I wouldn't be here were it not for you, and I wouldn't be here were it not for people like a potato. I appreciate your comment. Thanks for watching. Take care. Shut me off.